Stretching your rhomboids could actually make your pain worse. Most people are trapped in a cycle of short-term pain relief and recurring pain. I've gathered many of my clients out of this spiral with a breakthrough routine. So in this video, I'm going to show you my 4-step progressive exercise plan that is safe, fast, and designed to end your rhomboid pain once and for all. If you've been suffering for months or years, I see you. Your pain is real and valid whether you're 35 or 62. If by seeing your healthcare provider hasn't helped yet, there's nothing wrong with you. You just might need a different approach that creates structural adaptations, not just temporary relief. Here's where traditional approaches might fail. You're dealing with what we call modern postural syndrome. Your rhomboids become overstretched and inhibited, like a rubber band that's lost its elasticity. But here's the counterintuitive part. Most treatments, they target the symptoms and not the underlying movement dysfunction. The breakthrough came when I discovered something in the biomechanics research. Instead of stretching weak muscles, we need to create functional strength through progressive overload. Hence, it is crucial that we create a program with specific exercises targeting our weaker areas and rebuilding our neuromuscular control. Before we dive into the exercises, let me show you exactly what's happening in your body, because understanding your anatomy creates better results. Your rhomboids sit between your shoulder blades and spine. They are like the wires on a tent, and when they are strong and balanced, everything stays stable. But here's where it gets interesting. Your rhomboids don't work alone. They're part of what I call the postural team. Team member 1 being the levator scapula. This muscle runs from your neck down to your shoulder blade, and when you're stressed or hunched forward, this muscle goes into overdrive, pulling your shoulders up toward your ears. Team member 2 is your serratus anterior. This muscle wraps around your ribcage and is crucial for healthy shoulder blade movement. We call it the boxer's muscle because it protects your shoulder during reaching movements. And when this muscle is weak, your rhomboids have to work overtime. Team member 3, your thoracic spine. These are the vertebrae in the middle of your back. You can think of them as the foundation of a house. When your thoracic spine is stiff from sitting, it can also start to strain your rhomboids. So here's the key insight. Most people try to fix the rhomboid pain by addressing only the rhomboids. Our 4 exercises today work because they address the entire system surrounding the rhomboids. Exercise 1 restores the thoracic spine mobility and easing tension of the levator scap. Exercise 2, we're going to activate the serratus anterior. Exercise 3 and 4 helps to strengthen the rhomboids. So instead of just working on stretching the rhomboids only, you need to integrate solutions that address the whole postural team. So for the first exercise, we're going to be doing this thing called the cat-camel. So for those of you who may have done yoga before, this might be familiar to you. What you want to do is find your hands right below your shoulder joint, your knees right below your hip joint. You want to intentionally try to segment each part of the vertebrae, traveling down from the bottom to the top and top to bottom. So this way, with the head and the neck pointed up, the tailbone pointed up as well, and imagining there's a string or a rope attached to your belly and it's being pulled down to the ground. Alright, what you can do to add another layer to help you squeeze more range of motion is internally try to bring your hands closer to your knee and your knee closer to your hands. So you're gonna pull inwards, but you're not gonna move. You're just gonna internally try and drive into the ground and pull inwards so that you can get more range. You can try that, and then from here, once we have this position sorted out, we're gonna work from the neck, traveling our way down the spine. So from the cervical to the thoracic to the lumbar. Okay, so it will look like this, working with the neck first, then going to the thoracic, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then on to the lumbar. So now in this fully extended position, if you want to get more range, you can internally try to push your hands up against the floor and your knees backwards against the floor. Imagining there's the rope attached to your back now and someone's pulling you up. You want to also try and tuck in your neck as much as you can, tuck in your tailbone as much as you can, allowing yourself to look at the belly button. And then from here, we can work on the opposite direction by tilting the tailbone up. Starting with the tailbone, traveling up the spine, going to the mid-back, going to the upper back, and then to the neck. So we have done the full spine mobility linearly, but if we want to bias the thoracic spine even more, we can find ourselves in a kneeling position like this, place our hands in front, straighten it out, keep tension within the body, and work on the thoracic spine, the upper back even more. So what we can do is apply the same concepts as how we did with the cat camel. Find ourselves in an extended position first, keep tension within the whole body, and then start working from the neck. And then through the entire range of the thoracic spine. To add another layer of mobility that you can explore is in your flex position this way, you can apply a neck rotation. So you can do 2 to 3 reps on each direction. So tilt the neck down and rotate the neck to the outer limits, while maintaining the flexion in the spine. But do take note as well, for the neck rotations, do detour and avoid any sharp pinching pain and just work within your means. So try these out for your thoracic spine mobility. I've definitely gave you more than just the thoracic spine alone, but I'd like for you to just have more options to play around with and work with those that help you feel better as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Before we target your rhomboids directly, we need to wake your serratus anterior up. So we're going to do an exercise that helps to prime the serratus anterior. Think of this as working on the foundations of the house first. Your serratus anterior needs to be activated first, or your rhomboids will keep compensating and staying tight. So for the second exercise that we'll be doing, we'll be targeting the serratus anterior. So what we want to do is find a wall that you can use and have a position with your arms this way, almost like a shoulder width apart, and place it against the wall. What you want to try and do is use the wall as a way of a feedback mechanism to try to hug inwards towards the middle portion. So just trying to activate inwards but not actually pushing yourself in. This motion will help you to try and squeeze your shoulder blades inwards, hugging your rib cage to help you find that muscle activation. And once you've found that muscle activation on the SE muscle, you're going to start sliding up while keeping that muscle activation. And then sliding back down. The end range that you want to achieve is ideally probably around your elbows in line with your jawline. For some people, you might have more range, and that's totally fine, but the idea here is to maintain the activation of the SA muscle group. So find whatever works for you in terms of the range, and don't push through any sort of sharp pains or tingling pain. This exercise is like doing a sound check before a concert. Everything that follows will work better because we've established proper muscle activation patterns. So for the third exercise, we're going to be working on something called the W lifts, helping to tap on our shoulder stabilizers as well as the rhomboids. So if you have some bands, like I do, just wrap it around something that's immovable, and then find yourself in a shoulder width stance. Keep the spine neutral, raise your hands up in a 90-degree position, and then from here, we're going to retract the shoulder blades as far back as we can, externally rotate the arms as best as you can, and start pushing up while maintaining this posture. And keep the engagement with the shoulders and sliding back down. There might be a tendency to want to arch the back, so try to resist against that by keeping tension within the body. We are targeting every fiber of your rhomboid complex while improving scapular stability through 3 distinct movement planes. Think of it as a comprehensive rehabilitation condensed into one integrated exercise. And if it's too intense for you, you can always reduce the intensity by adjusting the bands to have a single loop instead. Alright, so for exercise number 4, we're going to be working on something called the rows, and this will help us to target the rhomboids directly. So if you have bands as well, just loop it around like how we did previously. And find yourself in a shoulder width stance, keep the body tense, spine neutral, and let yourself start with this position with the arms extended forward. And from here, we're going to pull the elbows as far back as we can, and at the same time retract the shoulder blades as far back as we can so that we can squeeze on that rhomboid and find the activation. And then slowly work on the eccentric movement, the negative part of the movement, while still keeping engagement with the rhomboids. For the breathing wise, you want to breathe in and exhale as we pull. And squeeze on the rhomboids. Some key points to take note is to lead with the shoulder blade retraction. Try to roll more with your elbow and keep your elbow close to your body, and don't grip the bands too tight as it might overwork your arms instead. Keep your shoulders down and don't let them creep up towards your ears as you perform the exercises so that you can keep the contraction towards the rhomboids. Imagine there's a pen in the middle of your shoulder blades and you're trying to squeeze that pen still, pinning it in that position with your shoulder blades by squeezing on your rhomboids. You can also add a 3 to 5 second hold at the end to help you build on that activation and strengthen the connective tissues in that area. And as an alternative, if you don't have bands, you can use a weight or maybe a bag of groceries, depending on what you have at that point of time. Find yourself in a position where you can lean onto something, right? In this position, have your knees slightly bent in front, the legs extended back this way so that you can find a nice stable position. Your spine is neutral and you can grab onto the weight this way. So if you are working on your right hand, you want to have your left foot forward. Okay, find a stable position and then from here, apply the same techniques that we did previously and just work with bringing and drawing your elbows back close to your body. You can play around with the positions as well, whichever allows you to activate the rhomboids and keep you more stable. So even if it's not here, you can also place yourself here. Maybe place your knee this position and just find a good CG, center of gravity for yourself, and then you can work on this as well. Of course, this one might not be ideal because it's soft and there's cushion here, so it might not be comfortable for the wrist, but I'm showing these techniques so that you have options. So work with what you are capable with and just make sure that you are engaging the right muscle groups, not pushing through any sharp pinching pain. This exercise teaches your rhomboids to work under load while maintaining the activation patterns from our first 3 exercises. This will help us to balance the load between our back muscle groups so that we avoid overstraining one muscle over the other. The beauty of this sequence is that each of these exercises prepared your body for this moment. Your serratus anterior is primed, your thoracic spine is mobile, your posterior chain is activated, and now your rhomboids can build real lasting strength without compensation. Here's also one crucial connection I want to share. It's stress, and it does play a part in tightening your rhomboids. So managing stress is also integral to managing your rhomboid pain. Some safety precautions as well. If you have numbness or severe headaches or pain that progressively worsens, do see a healthcare provider immediately. So let's recap your comprehensive action plan. Exercise 1, your thoracic spine mobility. Exercise 2, serratus anterior activation. 3, your W lifts. And exercise 4, rhomboid rows. Try to do these exercises 2 to 3 times a week. Start with 2 sets and then build to 3 as your strength develops. And work to a medium intensity. If the pain flares up, then you might be doing too much too soon. So look to reduce the volume, the frequency, or the load that you're using. If you'd like to go deeper into these methods and receive insights on my complete joint bulletproofing protocols to help eliminate nagging pain, make sure to sign up for my newsletter where I'll share exclusive programming templates and advanced techniques. You now know how to eliminate rhomboid pain, but here's the thing. Many people who focus on muscular strengthening prioritize their muscular system over the foundation of their joints, which can lead to injuries over time due to structural imbalances. So watch this video next, where I'll show you how connective tissue training complements everything we've covered today, because balancing your muscular system with your connective tissue system is the secret sauce to sustainable, functional, and pain-free movement.